Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video, oh my god, my camera is getting crazy, too many people. We are going to make the long-awaited massive apocalypse scale battle report for Dystopian Wars, finishing our second season of the narrative campaign. So we will explain all the rules. I think I'm gonna make right now a little cut to explain how it's gonna work and why we did that. Just wanted to catch your eyes with all the tables. Let's have a look at the rules, how all of this happened, why we are making this battle, and then we'll meet for checking the table. And here is the table. As you can see, it is absolutely insane. It is, I think, by far the largest 3rd edition Dystopian Wars battle ever recorded, and maybe ever. So we're gonna play this for 2 days. And as you can see in the center, we have Citadel Omega that was captured by the Empire, and the Citadel Alpha by the Russians, all of them in the Eurasian Concord, and they're going to try to hold against infinite wave of invaders. So what do we have? On the Pacific side, we have the Imperium attacking here. All this belongs to Valentin, he will play. Like, we're going to have a lot of players around. Led by an Ice Maiden, there is also a Tirpitz, I think, or just the normal König battleship. He's gonna have also some Covenant forces. As you can see, it is still those from the starter set, with the old tokens and stuff. How far we have grown since the hunt for the Prometheus, right? Some Sultanate also sending some reinforcements back, and a large force of Crown with a Victory, with a Protector, and lots of forces here attacking. On the defense side, as you can see, we have a lot of Empire. My Eurasian Concord, and in green and gray are the Empire defenders. We have some unpainted miniatures, as you can see. Indeed, we were wondering, do we allow them or not? And for this, we just wanted as many miniatures as possible, but next year is going to be painted only. So we have a lot of defenders, and Akita here, I'm not going to go too much in details. We have some French part of the Praetorian Guard in the north defending. Lots of Imperium forces. Also from the Praetorian Guard, we have this large pack of air forces. I just noticed that there is a Yangtze right there, okay? And the Matsumoto is going to be insane. On the other side here, we have this new support battleship with a twin Inferno cannon that's going to be also very powerful. We're play testing it. It's in beta for now, for the first time. And way back here, if I zoom, we have this aircraft carrier hidden by the aerial terrain. First time we try aerial terrain as well, and yeah, a lot of forces. Now let's switch to the Arctic side. So attacking, trying to take back Citadel Alpha, we have a large force of Covenant right here. We have a lot of capital ships, like so many things. Here we have the Imperium of Zongo, our local competitive Prussian player. I'm kidding. Also bringing out an Ice Maiden. Why not? Let's remember that all the attackers, when they die, they come back to life. Except we decided unpainted miniatures. The unpainted ones don't come back to life. So probably by Sunday it's going to be fully painted. So we have a lot of defenders here, attackers, a Stark Imperium, of course. And yeah, they're just going to come again. On the defensive side, we have the Black Wolf, as you can see in black. A lot of defenders from the Commonwealth, from the Russians specifically. We also have some Scandinavian defenders here and there. Like, we have a lot of stuff. If I zoom out and come closer, we have a lot of Saransk, some robots. The Mozaivsky here, the pride of St. Petersburg, with all the railguns. The Presidium, where there is going to be Admiral Stolyarenkova. And if I zoom even further, we have the Alexeyev, some Borodino there. The Alexeyev. Here we have the Valhalla as well. Tons of Saronsks here. More Stoletovs, more Black Wolves. It's gonna be insane. We have like also some Olegs with Fury Generator, because our Russian player here is quite competitive. He took the spot of Zongo. And yeah, it's going to be insane. It's gonna take a while. We are not going to make a real battle report. We're not going to film like every action, but every 90 minutes or something, I put a reminder to film and say in 3 or 5 minutes what happened. And we'll just take a second to appreciate the flying islands that are here. And it's so they are blocking line of sight, but we can still fly over them. So this way, maybe there will be a Zeppelin at some point hanging up on top of that. So we're going to start, and I think it's going to be quite interesting. The first few activations, the first turn, everybody's gonna die probably, and we'll meet after about 90 minutes or 2 hours of game to see what happened. Okay, the battle is underway. and as you can already see, it's been quite lethal. The very first activation we've had was those Stolitovs here that straight out cripple the Hypatia there. I'm gonna tell you every single activation. There's been some losses left in there. Here, all the way back, there is a huge melee, we'll go there just at the end, but there has been a slaughter, literally. Here there is still some reserves being activated. The Yangtze here was crippled straight after being shot by the Orcas and then the Protector, and in return he activated and crippled the Protector outright. Those Kanagawas activated, killed the Izmir that was right there, and did quite some damage on the little Izmir that was all the way in the back. Quite good because they are with particle beamers. Here, as you can see, like it's been only like an hour or something we've been playing. There is like playing in parallel on both tables. Those guys killed the gong. They're activating here, and I think I'm gonna have quite some pain from there. But yeah, it is extremely lethal so far. People are getting crippled and slaughtered left and right, which seems logical because we start sort of like at closing range already, and we have a lot of very lethal ships. And for now, the big battle is here for the Arctic and there for the Pacific. But as you can see, it starts to activate there. And here is the big slaughter that happened. Those Stolitovs activated just after being attacked by those airships. There's been like killing left and right. My Hoth went behind enemy lines before they activated, destroying a Ferdinand and a frigate in the boarding and everything. And this poor Gungnir just got crippled and he got a magazine explosion. So as you can see, Zongo happily puts damages everywhere. I will probably try to activate my Odin next. I don't know. It's really becoming a big melee here. Maybe we're not very smart, like we should play more defensively because we don't respawn, us, and there is wave after wave coming. Maybe I should start shooting at the Ice Maiden at some point, but she's too hard to cripple, so we will see how it goes. The mercenaries of the Scandinavians are doing their role, dying bravely, doing some boardings, but yeah, I'm not sure it's going so well. So far it's very fun. It's a lot of miniatures, it's very lethal, not much strategy, but it's quite fun to put all the fleets out and just slaughter each other in this big apocalypse scale game. Alright, we're gonna keep playing a little bit and meet again later. Okay, we are still going strong. There's been like 90 minutes of game happening there. Still nothing much here, but there's been a slaughter absolutely everywhere. As we play, as we record, the Mojaiski, the Pride of St. Petersburg, and its escorting Ruriks are shooting all the railguns on the Prince Eugen that is right there. And yeah, it's doing a lot of work. Thank you, Pride of St. Petersburg, which used to be the flagship of the White Flotilla for those that watched the first battle reports. Let's first go here. Those little Jaegers absolutely slaughtered everything. Like there's been quite a few exchange of fire. The Protector, the submarine aircraft carrier, is dead. Most of the Saxons are dead as well. They did a great job. Kyoto's helped as well, also doing more damage on the Izmir. And most of the things that happened here were related to this guy, like some Augustus artillery were destroyed, and here especially there's been some exchange of firepower between the defenders of the Empire deserters and the Prussian invaders. So lots of firepower happening here, but it's not yet a big melee, it's more like softer, while there people are just charging at each other. Let's have a look. As you can see, many people died. There's still my Hoth Corvette there somehow. The Gungnir here died. Like most of the things that were here died. The Saransk crippled the Prince Eugen, doing generator shutdown, so it doesn't force attacks to roll the double hits, and that's why all the firepower now is going there. As you can see, there is a massive, well, we don't see it because of there is going to be a massive air battle there between the aircraft of the Commonwealth and the Imperium. And here many losses, especially because there's been some explosions there, as you can see. We start to be a little bit in a tough spot. We don't have any reinforcements respawning, but such is the game. We'll try to survive as long as possible. The objective is to survive until Sunday. So will they survive? In the worst case, if it goes too easy here, we can just send some ships through the portal back on the other table to try to help. I hope it will not go to that, but it's so lethal here that I'm like, will we survive? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The battle is still ongoing, and we'll see again how it goes. after a while. The war rages on. As always, a massive slaughter there. We'll talk about it in a minute. Still looking at each other there. Nobody wants to make the first move and get in range. For now, we're finishing what is happening there as the first turn. Here, still some activations. Chestus Zebek made a very good activation, damaging the Lovelace and killing a Merian. In the return, the Temir came doing not much. Izmir not doing much either. And yeah, it's going quite slowly here. Like lots of very small activations. Still some battle happening there. And the most interesting one is here, because as always, there is an absolute slaughter. Those ships came here, killing a few of the Russian defenders. In return, the Russian defenders charged, doing a lot of damages around. It was like such a slaughter. Some boarding action, some counter boarding from here, like the Prussians boarding the Heroic, and the Heroic counter boarding to make it a point of damage. Some railguns shooting here and there. One crazy railgun attack just with a crippled ship, barely managing to kill an Augustus there, sinking down. It is a slaughter. The Prussian attack has been very tough, but they are starting to suffer a lot of losses. They will have some reserve to bring next turn, and let's remember there is like something like 3 or 6 robots coming soon for them, but the Scandinavian have also some reserves. And yeah, this is going quite slowly. They're quite how to say, like cold, in the sense they don't charge down right, which might be to the benefit of the defender, because we're just playing with like in real life time. So it means that if they don't attack, by the end of tomorrow, the Empire might still hold here. While there, lots of Prussian losses, but also lots of Russian losses. I'm not sure this flank will hold for a while. And still more slaughter. So let's start on the Pacific side. Quite some losses here around the Zeppelin and the air forces, but here there has been even more losses from the attackers. The Anatolia has been crippled, lots of losses left and right. The frigates that were here are getting killed one after the other. Here is still quite calm, but here there has been a back and forth of ships just behind this floating island. Some of them are still alive, but a lot of losses here, especially the Crown, which are getting really a lot of losses, and as well the Commonwealth, the Covenant, sorry, also having a lot of pain. Here, basically everything here activated already. Lots of SFS. As you can see, the Mojaiski has been killed through the artillery barrage of many guys. At some point it was at the black level of disorder and kept getting morale damage, so it was killed. It starts to be a big hole in the defenses here, but at least the Ice Maiden has activated. But I do feel like this flank will collapse at some point. I will try to activate those guys, especially those guys, to make the last hope points of the Prince Eugen. And the first activation started here. Like the Borodino charged forward, doing some damage around, and the Boyard did actually 33 hits on the Hypatia that was here already crippled, sinking the Hypatia outright. So there has been really, I forget some of the losses that happened, because really there has been way too much. As you can see from around, the losses starting to pile up all around. We're still like in the first turn, of course, but it's still like 16 o'clock so 4 o'clock for the American on the first day. It is really intense, but so many losses on every side that the second turn will be much faster, I feel. But it's so fun, like there's just all the biggest ship of the game just throwing dices at each other. So it's really getting interesting. And what's going on there? I think there's been some sacrifice happening there to trigger the minefield. Okay, Zongo is playing like a Russian, sending the weak in the front to clean the minefield. Okay, sure. So we'll see how it happens. I expose my boyars, but you have at some point to try to gain some time and hold the citadels long enough for the reinforcements, our reinforcements, to arrive tomorrow evening. All right, it's very intense. As you can see, many people died everywhere. Something that was interesting, like as you can see, the Covenant here is mostly activated and they did a lot of damage, including like something like 40 hits from the torpedoes of these 3 guys on the Akita, but he repaired, and he activated and he repaired, crippling this Hypatia, killing a few ships here and there. Good job, little Akita. We are finishing about here. There's going to be a few activations still left, but we still have quite a few, like many more hours to hold. Here, basically everybody finished activating. Fenrir did manage to almost cripple this guy. Those guys are basically invincible against SDV very well. The Saransk did, I think it was something like 37 hits on the Descartes. Yeah, it's a Descartes here. It's actually the Oedipus. And basically crippling him outright. Very good activation of the Saransk. I also put them in range so they can make their flag barrage against the pile of SRS token amassing here. There we had the Boyar activating, sinking the Pacha a while ago. The Hoth corvettes arrived, killing few ships left and right. Apparently I just noticed this, those guys activated. And yeah, we are starting to activate the front here. Everybody is going to charge at each other. Those guys respond, so they can be a little bit more vigorous in their attack. Those guys, they are basically mercenaries. Not my ship, so I'm like, yeah, go first guys, go first. I'm hoping this center will hold for a while. I also have my Alexeyev still in reserve, and here as well, we're gonna hold for a while. We didn't activate either those two that count both as the Jean Madao fortress, and I hope they will do a good work. We'll let them get a little bit closer. For now, while it's a big melee, we activate what is most important first, and then next turn, of course, all the reserves are gonna happen. I think we're gonna barely finish the first turn today. We still have something like 3 hours to play here, and then we'll leave the table for tomorrow. Let's continue and see how this absolutely massive battle is going. For now, the Russians are holding the line here, the Empire as well, but how long can they hold? Okay, we have basically finished here. There's still going to be an activation train to cripple the Prince Eugen. As you can see here, a lot of damage. Those guys sent some SRS there that then triggered the particle, like the blast, killing the 5 Stolitovs in one go with all the blast and crippling everything around in a single activation. Like, wow. Also, barely their torpedoes made a magazine explosion on the Ratangas, damaging everyone around. Starts to be very difficult for the Russians. Luckily, they're gonna have some mercenaries coming left and right, but they'll need it for sure. On this side, we also have quite a few losses now. Those guys, like many guys, are crippled around. Here as well, and especially here there's been a back and forth of units, like entire squadrons have been lost here already. Torpedoes crippling ships left and right. It's really intense here, but for now, by sending wave after wave of frigates, the Empire has been holding, but it's not been glorious. I just realized that I have this huge guy that can shoot a blast. I should absolutely do it here, next activation. All right, but we start to have so many, like we have a lot of players around, and we are just trying to focus, but there's so many things around. I'm really like, sometimes like, oh my god, you killed this guy, you killed this guy. It's really a huge chaos. But it's quite fun. To be honest, it's really fun. Luckily, we do it only once per year because it's quite intense. But we're surviving. Next time, activation here to cripple this guy, to activate my robot as well. And next activation, shooting here to try to make some blasts there. And of course, again, we are in this big event with a lot of people, and we have the biggest table, so people are starting to know Dystopian Wars in our region, and someone is selling some Dystopian Wars miniatures as well. So hopefully we'll increase the size of the community. We'll meet again probably at the end of the first turn and before we leave. Okay, guys, the slaughter is absolutely insane. As you can see here, the Ice Maiden was finally crippled by the firepower of all those guys, including, very cool, including those Kyotos that went right in the center of this table, making sure they use their special role to ignore the disorder. Everybody here shot a little bit everywhere, especially the new Nakara support battleship used its Inferno cannons to kill outright the Augustus and cripple it killed the Conrad, crippled the Augustus, which is activating now before it dies, and also did a lot of damage even on the Electron. So that was a lot of damage out of this guy, plus his gun batteries. It's like crazy ship. Probably when you will see it out of beta, it will cost more than what it does now. I will not spoil the stats or anything, but the Inferno Cannon is one of the craziest weapons of the entire game. So Ice Maiden is crippled. Some more guys died here. We still have some activation there. I think we might hold here until the second turn, or the second day, sorry. Here we have a little bit more activation there, but especially the huge war has started here. It seems that not much moved because everybody that was in the center died. As you can see, both Hypatia were destroyed as well as the Oedipus. We had some guys going in the center, they died as well, or were crippled. Like, there's been a meat grinder there where people send their ships one after the other, and it's just a slaughter all around. We are gonna playing today for another hour, and then we'll leave the table as it is until tomorrow. And yeah, it's just an absolutely epic battle all around. Will we survive until tomorrow night? I don't know. But for sure it's gonna be epic. Okay guys, we are still playing. We are going a little bit. They said you can finish the first turn, which is what we're trying to do. The battle is still ongoing very hard. As you can see here, there's been an absolute slaughter. There is not much left from what used to be there. Entire units have been lost, and most of the guys that are still there, you can say from the red dices, most of them are crippled. Here as well, there's been an absolute slaughter, and very cool. The Odin here, one of them died, so the second surviving Odin and its two Valkyries arrived. They killed. Apparently something happened there. So the Odin did a lot of damage on the Prince Eugen, killing things left and right, and it had one hull point left, and the Valkyries went boarding alone on the Prince Eugen, destroying the dreadnought with their boring action. Very, very cinematic. We'll love it. So it's going to be soon the end here. And there... Okay, apparently lots of people died. The Ice Maiden...
It's war here.
The Ice Maiden has been destroyed with the combined firepower of basically everyone, including the rockets of the Jean Madao fortress. Lots of SRS going around. Descartes here was destroyed. The Elector is still there, but yeah, most people died. Tomorrow there will be an alliance fleet coming to reinforce both the attack here and there, and of course the reserves will arrive. And the first turn is finishing here. As you can see, there is a huge graveyard of attackers here, there. Don't worry, my defenders, like, this is just my side of the defenders, all the people that died, including the Pride of St. Petersburg, sniff sniff. It will be rebuilt, the Pride of New St. Petersburg, of course. So let's have a look. So there has been quite a breach on the left flank made by the Imperium. The losses have been staggering, I mean, as you can judge from here, but they are quite breaching. The Olegs went there to block and make some boarding and broadsides. There has been so many deaths from the SRS. Though the Saransk and all the flag barrage went quite well, this Ice Maiden is not even crippled yet, even though there's been so many SRS, like I think 16 SRS on them. It was absolutely crazy. There's only like a few survivors there, but it's always when it's the most interesting, where there's just a few survivors here and there, and you're like, how they survived, and then you try to make do with what is left. Even though tomorrow there is something like 4,000 points of alliance that is supposed to come. There's probably going to be a second wave of Imperium and of the Covenant, because as you can see, there's been quite a hole. Well, let's go there. They're just finishing their last air attack, flag barrages and stuff. Here, this guy, I was like, my colleague was like, do I put it here, like on top of the island? And we're like, no, then he's gonna take all the firepower next turn, keep it hidden. We will let them get closer. As you can remember, there were quite a few things here. Most of, like, basically everybody died there, including the almost entirety of the Imperium fleet. Don't worry, there's been like quite a few deaths here as well for the Empire. We're not even counting points or losses and everything. This is basically the attack, like the last battle to determine who will control the Vortex, so we don't count points. All the nations are sending everything they have. Most of the Covenant, as you can see, well, basically the entire Covenant fleet, except a few Marian frigates, were obliterated. The Descartes, the Hypathias, everyone died. We are going there. The Crown is still quite safe, actually. I mean, the Saxons were almost entirely destroyed, but there are packs here that stay all the way in the back. Stayed alive. Basically, only the Covenant went forward, and the British, being British, stayed in the back and stayed safe. Here, what do we have? Well, mostly everybody is alive here. Those guys sent SRS token. The Matsumoto used its magnetic generator to help the Akita. The Akita survived, actually. Okay, so the Akita is being attacked with SRS now. I am not sure it will survive. Here, like such a slaughter it was here. There's been just wave and wave and wave and everybody fighting here. If we kept the dead miniatures here, it would be just a big graveyard. The Ragnarok was destroyed by the Valhalla, quite fitting. All the rockets barrage from everyone's Stoletovs, Alexeyev, and oh, the Dragunov, we forgot to get them out. Well, they will come out next turn. We're tired, like now we need to get home to our wives. The Dragunovs will go on, but the Alexeyev did such a big damage. The Sarank are my favorite unit of the entire Crown Orbit. I love them, they're just so cool. Rocket barrage, heavy escort, and boarding. Everything I love in this game, all in one. Then here, as you can see, it's quite a clean order of battle here. They just went forward basically like a Napoleonic Wars, and many died, but they keep going forward calmly. All those are still alive. Most of the Antarcticas and Lovelace are either dead, either crippled. The Châtelet here as well. The Imperium, like the Scandinavian here, are mostly entirely dead, except like there is 3 Jotun, 1 Gungnir, and 2 Hoth, and that's it. But a few Odins and the Ragnarok, of course, have been destroyed, and we made a full circle. So this is the situation at the end of the first turn. If we had to sum it up, here the line is being held by the Praetorian Guard and the Eurasian Concord, even though on this flank there is really being a breach being made on this left flank. Probably the reserves of both sides with the robots of each side are going to try to fill up the void here. I'm not sure, just the Yakula, some robots, Saransk, although there is a Deathbringer here with his drill, and we'll manage to hold the day. Here, the attack has mostly been stamped. They will probably try to come back here, but will it work? I am not sure. I am not sure at all. On the other side, though, the attack on the Pacific side, has mostly been stamped. There has been a lot of losses for the attackers, both of the Imperium here, the Covenant, and we're not sure how long, how the battle is going to turn. For now, the defenders are in strength, but probably most of the Alliance reinforcement that will arrive here will arrive on this part. So will they survive until tomorrow evening? I'm not sure. That many people are crippled, and once the battle is going to turn here, is going to turn bad because, yeah, we don't have much. Like all our tanky units have been destroyed. That is it for today. We will meet again tomorrow in the morning just to say once the Alliance is here how it is going, and then we will start the second turn in the second day. And we are back for the morning. We do have some players that are a little bit late, and so we'll see what we're going to do. When I say some, I mean quite a few. So we are going to try to advance the games a little bit. The Alliance player is not there because he could not wake up this morning, apparently. And some of those others are stuck in the transport, etc., etc. So it is not as easy as it could be. And yeah, we'll just start playing. Of course, all the robots are going to start activating first. So that is how we are going to start. And when the Alliance player will come, he will start to come from the sides. We'll see for the reserves how we make it work. Okay, we started to play quite a little bit for the second turn, and as you can see, the Alliance has arrived. A massive Alliance fleet led with the beautiful Oriflamme, Mars, Minerva, the Phoenix. All of them are coming up to bring the pain. There is a lot of ships, and they do need these reinforcements. There's already been, like for example, a robot coming here, Hochmeister, destroying the Mars, and I brought one of my Icar Colossus to kill him back. The Matsumoto was crippled from this robot, and here this guy is attacking the Yonsei and doing a lot of damage. But that's not the craziest thing that is happening. Here, I got my dragons coming from here and there, and with their heavy Hwokyong, they did a ton of damage, slaughtering the 3 Newfoundland here, at some point crippling this guy. There was also some frigates that died, and here the 3 Hotspurs were destroyed, as well as the Saxon. We are now playing all the reserves and stuff, coming one after the other. This was supposed to be reserved, but we bring everything on the table all at once, and we have the situation quite stable here for now, but will it be stable for long? I am not sure. On the Atlantic side, we have quite a few crazy things that happen. First of all, you will notice that these beautiful, beautiful Levant that are areas right now have arrived. We don't count the points, so of course Steve came with all the heat lances in the world. I just noticed there is quite a few Epaulards that arrived there as well. That's interesting. The Marina here arrived and did absolute madness. We do the Valor effect on 4+, and he did a ramming on the Ice Maiden, crippling. Then a second ramming on the Eisenberg, crippling. And then a boarding on the Tempelhof, which didn't work. Or maybe Gauthier did a boarding on the Eisenberg, I'm not sure. But yeah, absolute MVP for now. There has not been activations here. There was a Metzger that arrived here. He did a lot of damage on the Kostroma, and then the Einherjar came and attacked the Metzger in the back, saving his friend the Kostroma and killing outright the Metzger. On this side, another slaughter happened. Here, Hochmeister arrived, killing a Solitov and killing a few ships around. And then I had an Einherjar, the Scandinavian robot, coming, killing this guy through the ramming and the boarding, also shooting on this guy. And this guy who came and did quite a few damage to the Valhalla, and also tried to board the Jotun but failed. So we are barely holding on this side with the second turn. They do bring a lot of things in the back with their Metzgers and stuff, and they have more. We do deal with this, but when this will start to move, it will start to be tough, especially now that they have this huge firepower. And what really scares me is this massive Alliance fleet in the back. But the Matsumoto is now crippled, and it's becoming very tough. As you can see, we are quite a few around the table. Like, if I zoom out, like, we are like lots of players left and right, and we're trying to play this battle as fast as we can to see who will prevail during this siege of the Twin Citadels. We will play for another hour or two and back to see the situation. Alright, what is the situation now? The Alliance, of course, is pushing real hard. Those Charlemagne arrived and, of course, obliterated the little Tianlong dragons that were here. There is still some attack going. The Akita repaired himself and did some shots and some kills around and some damage, especially on the little mass swans that were here. Here the situation is still stable. There, we were lucky, the Antarcticas did a huge blast right here in the middle. It only killed the little damaged piranhas with 7 hits. So all the piranhas here have been destroyed, but, oh sorry, it's right here, but the rest is still there. As you can see, a lot of reinforcements arrived for the attackers. We have a second Ice Maiden coming to help to breach the defensive lines. 2 Sark Imperiums and the beautifully painted French right there that are about to activate. Now we have the Aquila here coming to shoot left and right and maybe to board. But yeah, it's really becoming a little bit tough. We only have a couple more reserves on this flank. I think we have like 2 Thors and the Ragnarok himself, like the named Ragnarok, and that is going to be it. So we just need to survive as long as possible while wave after wave are plunging upon us. Quite difficult. Let's keep playing and see how it happens next turn, remembering that if we want, we can, through in this area, we can send those ships through the vortex to make some reinforcements. So maybe the Mizuchis will send their airplanes and then cross to send some torpedoes. We'll see if it's really needed. The slaughter is on. As you can see, well, first of all, this flank is being opened up by the forces of the Covenant, so we are starting to be a little bit in a sharp position. Those guys start solid out, but it's very difficult. Here there is an absolute melee there, with everybody charging in. There is a Deathbringer here waiting for its time, and we will have to hold the line. The Marina that crippled all the guys here is kind of like, maybe if I don't move they will not see me. And yeah, our entire flanks are collapsing. It's getting a little bit difficult. On the other side, the Italians have been pushing forward, and the French, and it's really difficult. As you can see, the Akita, the Matsumoto, most of our troops are dead, including the Nakara support battleship. Like, everything has been cleaned here. They keep pushing on. The Zeppelin has been crippled, but we finished cleaning here. Victory has been crippled already by the dragons. The Richelieu is close to being crippled, so is the Minerva, and so is the Phoenix. There's been a lot of firepower sent their way, and a lot of like magazine explosions. So it's getting a little bit easier here, but they already did the damage. They are already pushing forward through the lines, and here we're getting completely overrun. So we'll see how that goes. They're still like robots wrecking mayhem. And we'll see how it's going. As you can see also the fortress here, the Citadel Omega, has a lot of SRS on it already. We'll keep playing for a little bit and see how it is going. The onslaught continues, and yeah, as you can see, things continue really well. Here some more attacks, but not so much success from the defenders. Here, quite a few ships have been crippled before they could activate, including this Prince Eugen. This guy got a lot of damage as well. The Tempelhof was crippled as well. And especially here, the Magenta here got a shot of railgun from the Kostroma here. So it was aerial, so it triggered some bonuses, Giant Slayer, Sharpshooter, Rail quality, It did 20 hits, which did double Citadel already on this poor little Magenta, which then received a magazine explosion, which meant that everybody around got a point of damage. It even finished crippling the Conrad here. As you can see, there is a brave Totem all alone doing broadside left and right, and it actually killed the Saronsk, actually. Brave little Totem. Here, as you can see, there is a huge line of fire. Those two Wusongs made with their heavy Pyongyang. Great damage here. Oh, okay, one of them is there. Oh, sad. Okay, yeah, indeed. Little guys arrived and killed them in reprisal. They did killing an Arminius with their flamethrower, which through the torrent template made a lot of damage on these guys, and this guy exploded as well, which finished off the Elector that was here and which is now sleeping there, unfortunately for him. So the Italian attack is not going as well as it could have through bad luck, and they were really packed, so whenever there was a magazine explosion, it was really tough. And yeah, as you can see, lots of fun. The defenders are still holding for now, but there is more and more reinforcements pouring in. We'll see at the end of turn 2 if they manage to make a breach somewhere. They do have quite some reserves still. We have like basically, I think we have the Oni still in reserve for the Empire, and for the defender on the other side we have the two Thors. I'm looking forward to try them, and the Ragnaros, and that's it. That's all we have. While they keep having more and more reserves, the Sultanat's coming back, more French, more Imperium. We'll see how it goes by the end of the day, but yeah, everything is still up in the air about who's gonna win. Okay, we are reaching the end of the battle. The last reserves are being pushed back here. Here we have a lot of losses left in there. An absolute crazy activation of those 4 Boyards that came here, killed those 2 Myriad with their broadsides. Rocket Barrage killed Azumina here, that exploded with its experimental generator doing catastrophic explosions there, crippling this guy, no, not crippling this guy, damaging this guy, and killing entirely a Lovelace, an Antarctica here. So already 2 mass 1 and 2 mass 2s to the tally. And then their right broadside killed a Lovelace here, which exploded with a magazine explosion, damaging this guy and killing another Lovelace there. So 1 little activation, 4 mass 2s and 2 mass 1s killed. Nice job, little Boyar. We're gonna have a little frigate captain Prokofiev that is going to be promoted to a higher post soon. Here I activate the Boyar to make some space. Those guys are gonna rush in. I think we're gonna hold this flank. It's there that it's getting a little bit harder. Might have to bring our last reserves there. Here everybody is crippled basically. We still have the Victory that needs to activate. Those guys have been pushing really hard. I don't know if you see, but there is almost nothing anymore holding the line. They still have some reserves to bring, so we have like the very last defense line there. Some of them are already crippled anyway, so we will try to hold. I'm not sure how well it's gonna go. The Jaegers, those are Munichs. The Munichs did a crazy activation, slaughtering everything that was in front of them. There was 4 of them when they activated, and they did an insane amount of damage. Still the best aerial mass 1s of the entire game, by far. And yeah, those guys are soon to be crippled. The Minerva, by repairing itself, avoided being crippled. We are playing as fast as we can, but I'm not sure that the defenses will be breached. I think the reinforcements will have some time to arrive. The attackers, unfortunately, got into the trap of staying very packed. As you can see, the Italians didn't spread out, they really packed all into each other, which made a lot of magazine explosions. That's also the theme of the day, of just making huge fleets crushing at each other. But yeah, magazine explosions really did a lot of damage. At some point we had like this single Costrom activation that we said with the railguns, we didn't say, but it did, in a single activation, it did something like 18 points of damage between the guy that he shot and everybody that was around. So yeah, quite a lethal game. We got to play with basically everything, no, okay, 1/3 of our collection, but everything we wanted to play today. And we'll see how it will happen by the end of the second turn, once everybody gets to play at least once, including our last reserves that are here for boarding and ramming. We are reaching the end of the battle. We will only talk about like the end for sure, but there have been so many epic actions everywhere. Things where people stayed alive at the last minute. Things where they repelled border against all odds. Some dice pools at 60 dices doing something like 80 hits. It's been crazy, it's still ongoing. We had the Deathbringer here splashing forward, killing an Elector and a Blotcher with the ramming, going under. Then killing a Mass 3 like the Heidelberg. Then boarding the Temple off and sinking it as well. And killing also a Uton with his broadside and seismic mortars. Okay, they were heavily damaged, but damn, the Deathbringer can deal the pain. These guys have been just cleaning this entire flank, and here though it's the defenders that are really pushing forward. I think they're gonna wipe out the map, and this way the Oni that was supposed to be here, he's gonna use his experimental generator, go there and help the defender on this flank. We will see. They might not be able to push through the lines and say, okay, we won and we will take their defenders. We will see there though, but they will for sure try to at least destroy the citadels. And we finished this insane battle, thanks to all the players. We'll post probably a little picture somewhere. How it ended. In the Pacific, the defenses held, though they sent all their air power there on the citadel. It was 48 SRS tokens. Yes, 48 SRS tokens. The citadel was destroyed, but actually just to the last hull points. With all the attacks, it was like with 2 hull points left. And we did 2 criticals, and it was Trojan Flare and an explosion. So it barely sunk. However, the defenders have been pushed back, as you can see, with all the attacks. This guy died from the mini submarines. The Phoenix went down, the Richelieu, basically everybody died, and all the defenders are converging on the last survivors to push them out. But the damage has been done, and the Citadel Omega was destroyed, even though the Eurasian Concord still hold the region. They will have time to rebuild, but yeah, their position has been really weakened, and the Citadel is gone. On the Atlantic side, the situation was much tougher. As you can see, most of the attacking force was crippled or killed, thanks to the sacrifice of the Ragnarok that came, made a big mess here. Basically, the entire Covenant force was obliterated. Also, the Thor that came to clean up the last few things, those guys are dead. Like there is only this. So the Covenant is basically done. But the Alliance and the Imperium did manage to to destroy the Citadel. But now there is not much. There's still quite a large force here. There is the Oni that came here and cleaned all the supporting ships. It was really like they have no more Augustus, Conrad, everything is gone. The Templar, there is nothing anymore. However, the air forces of the Imperium and the Alliance did manage to overrun the defenses on this flank and will take the Citadel. So those guys could try to hold and push them back and come to the rear. But what the Eurasian Concord and the Praetorian Guard are going to do, rather, is to push all their assets out of the map and run away around. They still hold most of the Vortex Alpha, though they lost, like the region, the Archipelago Alpha, though they lost the Vortex itself, so they will retreat, regroup before they lose too many of their forces, even though everybody has been weakened, and they will come back another time to try to reclaim this region. There is just a huge ruin here, like in the Pacific as well, though in the Atlantic it will really be difficult for the Eurasian Concord to take it back. So Alliance and Imperium will both hold this line. We will see if they make an alliance indeed, or if they start to fight against between each other. But for now, all those guys are going to get away. That is going to be it for today. Let's first, like after all of these emotions, let's go for the debriefing. All right, this is it for this absolutely massive battle report. As you can see,
Very massive.
I'm pretty sure this is the biggest Dystopian Wars battle that has ever been filmed.
35,000 points for one
Yeah.
for today. It's a
Yeah.
very massive
Yeah,
party.
we didn't count yet, but we think it's between 35 and 45,000 points. I will probably put it on the miniature already, how many points once we finish calculating. It was massive. In the end, victory of the attackers in the Atlantic. Many survivors that ran away, including my admiral. I'm happy for once my admiral
For the first
survived.
time we have put the Commonwealth.
Yeah, so they're running away. Yeah, they're running away. They're gonna make some resistance, but victory of the Imperium and the Alliance. We will see if they share custody of the Vortex.
We'll see.
First battle.
But
And-
the Knight of Connaught has been wiped.
Well,
There's no survivor. Just
Yeah.
one Meriam. That's all.
An automata, there is no crew. Doesn't
Oh
count.
yeah, no crew.
On the Pacific side, victory of the defenders. The Citadel is destroyed, though.
Yep.
Citadel destroyed, but they hold the island. They hold the Vortex still. So, how do you feel? We will make a little turnaround. How do you feel about the battle? Do you want to start with a few words, Steve?
Yes. Very tired.
Very tired.
Very tired.
Everybody's tired. We played 20 hours.
It was an amazing moment, and I'm very proud of being a part of it. Yeah, really.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah. We made history today.
No, we white
you,
history.
people. Thank
you.
Made history. Yeah.
Zongo, what do you think?
Yeah, well, as my colleague, a bit exhausted with so much playing. I think what I liked the most that each player had miniatures which were attacking and miniatures which were
Yeah, we
defending
were on
as
both
well.
sides.
So it was like quite narrative.
Yeah, either in Atlantic or Pacific. Some defenders of Pacific
Yeah.
were taking the Atlantic, so we had a bit of miniatures everywhere.
So yeah, we really cooperated together to build a story together rather than playing and facing each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's the better way to play the game, which is very
Absolutely.
narrative.
Yes, amazing battle. Huge amount of figurines on the table. Wouldn't do that every day, though. And yes, it's the apocalypse for the dystopian war. It's quite playable despite the huge scale. Yeah,
Yeah.
surprising well.
Yeah, true.
Quite tiring too, but I'm still excited about the among the miniature which have been destroyed and how violent the game still is on this huge scale.
Yeah.
Try it at home.
Trade at home, yeah.
Trade at
Try to
home.
make more points on the table.
Try to beat this!
Yeah, 50,000 points for one portal, please. Yes. Yeah, on my side, but this is my first finish this year with this battle. It's very amazing and very beautiful. We have played together and against us. So we are cooperate to make a great history. We finished the second tour of Dystopian in France today. I like it. I can play all my my battleship, and I'm very proud of it because I think my skill for my battle have been improved, and I play really strategical. And with all my companion here, we have made a little advancement, but yes, very impressive, amazing. A lot of big story, little storytelling, a little improvement.
So many things happen.
Yeah, so many things, but we have a lot of good fights
Yeah.
together. Donc, I enjoy it, and please
Yeah.
subscribe to the channel. Yeah.
Oh yeah, subscribe. Give a like if you like this huge
and
battle
give
report.
yeah.
Give a like. Give a comment. You might win a crown fleet. As you can see, they die very good. Or an alliance fleet, which, as you can see, they own the Vortex now. They are little heroes.
Yeah.
And there is a magenta. There is 3 chasseurs. So try to gain this fleet. The alliance, as you can see, is very lethal. But for me, what did I think? It was amazing. Like when we started this narrative campaign with the 2 Vortex, I had this idea of having this twin table with everybody at the middle and trying to hold, and we finally made this a reality.
Yeah. After 2 years of a game,
Yeah.
for Wargaming,
Yeah.
we
So
made it.
now we are going to make a season 3. Oh, wait. We're going to make a season 3 now. We will see. It's probably gonna start again slowly. But at least there is no more the Commonwealth holding the center as they did in the beginning of the first season. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of miniatures. We brought not even everything we had. I think.
Especially the battle between the two.
No.
Maybe a third of
Yeah,
it.
maybe a third of our collection, but
We make a little battle like Pacific Rim. So very impressive.
it was crazy. We couldn't show you everything. I hope you saw at least the most actions, like the Deathbringer killing 3 masteries in one activation, the Boyard,
Yeah.
the Valkyries boarding and killing the Prince Jürgen. Like, there's been so there've been so many things. I hope you enjoyed this. It was not a real battle report, but more like a vlog to try to give you the atmosphere. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more, because we're going to start making more and more battle reports once again. Thank you very much for having stayed until the end. And until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye!